Hi everyone, my name is Chrysteannah and today I'm here with Fiona and we're going to be talking all about mental health, and Fiona is this wonderful YouTuber. She has such a great platform and I will be linking all of her social media down below for sure. And I just love to sit down and talk with YouTubers, TikTokers, basically anyone, because I feel that when we're watching someone on a screen, we don't really know what's going on behind the scenes. We don't know what they're going through. However, it's good to show that everyone's the same. And especially as teenagers, it's always good to reach out to someone or, just have someone to speak to or relate to. So I'm from Teenage Mental Love and I love doing these interviews. And I really hope you guys enjoyed this one. And we're going to jump right into it. Perfect. Yes. Fiona.
I'm so
Yes,
excited.
me
I'm so
too.
excited to be here.
Yay. And I wanted to actually jump in. This one is kind of a little bit more of a intense questions, but I want to ask you, how are you doing mentally right now?
Totally. Also, I this is super random, but your voice is so calming.
Thank
Like I
you.
feel so calm right now,
Thank you so
and I
much.
love it.
Thank
Anyways,
you.
going off note, I feel like right at this exact moment, like I'm
Yeah.
doing great. Like I feel really
Awesome.
good. Obviously, like during this like past like almost year now, it's been really hard because I feel like for everyone in general, like it's been so hard to just like see your friends go do things that you really like truly love to do. It's so like hard to be creative also right now because like you're in your room, you're in your house, and
Exactly.
like it's just like you get sick of it. Like don't get me wrong, I love laying in bed, but like at the same time, like I miss like certain things, and that has been really hard on me. It's been hard on a lot of my friends. So I would say I feel like I'm doing really good right now, but there was definitely a few months that were really hard for me. It was really hard to just kind of like get into the grind of like actually working because there was like it felt like there was no motivation there because there was like nothing going on outside. Like it felt like a weird movie, and I just did not like
Yeah.
it. So it made me kind of thrown off. So at that point, it was definitely very hard for me. But right now, I'm doing good. I'm honestly doing really good. I'm working towards my future, and
Awesome.
that's what makes me really happy. Of course, there's like rough days too.
Yeah. Oh,
There's
yes.
always the rough days, but
Yes.
good right now for
Yeah,
sure.
awesome. I completely understand, and I'm so happy that you said, like your life is so nice, but there's always the rough days, and just like you said, with the creative block, and especially as you're a YouTuber, I feel that so many YouTubers they get their inspiration from going outside, ordering whoever the meal in front of me, basically, even though you can still do those things since it's drive through, but like little things like that. And I'm so happy that you opened up about that. And I wanted to kind of like say, when you were talking about friends and family, do you have any special people in your life who you really connect to and they help you through those tough times, like now? Or
Yeah, totally. I definitely do. My parents are a huge part of my life and a huge part of like why I'm so creative, and like they've pushed me to definitely go in like really good directions with like YouTube and like starting a company. So like I'm super grateful for that. And their support always. They're always telling me, especially my mom. My mom's like work through the hard times, like it's
yeah,
worth it in the end, which I feel like a lot of people get stuck on just like kind of looking in this tunnel of like oh, like I don't really know, like I don't know if it's actually gonna work out, like I don't know if I have like a bright future, like like there's like that tunnel vision, but like you have to really look outside of that, use your like peripheral vision.
yeah,
I think
yeah.
that's what it's called. And yeah, so my mom really kind of helps me like see like everything and how it really can come together, and like your dreams can be accomplished. And then my dad always makes me laugh. My dad is always just like he's hilarious.
Yeah,
He's kind of like my brother in a weird way, but
yeah.
like not. Like we'll like make I don't know, just like make funny
Yeah.
jokes.
I
So my dad always makes me smile.
yeah.
And then also I do have some close friends that have always like been really supportive and like really helped me through everything, because a lot of people like there definitely has been some times where some people in my life were not so positive about like what I was doing. But I'm really glad that I have a few of my friends that are like really really supportive. It's hard to not be able to see them so often though,
Yeah.
especially given that some live like 6 hours away from me, one lives an hour away from me, so
Yeah.
it's like really, really hard,
Oh,
which can be difficult. But FaceTime and Zoom and stuff like that can be really
of
fun. So
course. Yeah.
That's good.
That's really good. And, it's also good to, like, look at the bright side of things because I feel like, especially now, it's really mentally draining sometimes. And I even wanted to go back a little, a few years ago, like into your younger life. What was it like growing up for you, with mental health and even growing up in, like, basically the spotlight, having a YouTube channel and having people have an opinion on you? What was that like for you?
Totally. Yeah, I'll kind of like I'll touch on like when all of this kind of like everything kind of started. So
Of course.
when I was 8 years old, I started doing like modeling and acting,
Wow.
which the modeling and acting industry is like super rough on kids because
Yes.
you are like as much as they try to say you're not, like you're judged off of how you look and if you fit the part that they think would look right. And
Mhm.
it's so sad to see how many girls it lowers their self confidence. Like it's lowered mine before, and it's really hard to like I don't know have all that pressure on you and going to like auditions and seeing all these other beautiful people around you and being like, oh, I don't think I'm good enough for
Yeah.
this. And especially when you don't get the job, like that is so hard, and it's like a lot of the times you won't get that job, so it can be really difficult. And then same with like I stopped doing YouTube and acting because of that. Basically, I didn't really like how someone was constantly telling me like, oh, you don't look like the right way for this job, and I really just didn't like that, so I
Yeah.
just started to like create YouTube videos, and that was definitely a huge like breakthrough like for me because I was in charge of it. Like I like it didn't matter like what I looked
Yeah,
like
of course.
I could do those videos. You know what I mean? I could
Definitely
do whatever I wanted basically. I could upload a video of just me eating food and like no one could say it was wrong. Or
That's
I
so
mean people
true.
could. The comment section definitely could.
Yes, yes.
But like
Yeah.
being in charge of like your own like kind of like presence and like being in charge of yourself is like a very empowering like feeling and it feels great, so that I'm very grateful for. And then going into like kind of business, that is also amazing, like being
Yeah.
like a CEO and a, like a real founder of a company is insane. Like there's so much that goes into it that I didn't know, and that is great. But I would say mentally, it's very draining to grow up in like the spotlight. I never really think of it that way, if I'm being so honest.
I know,
But
right?
it is hard. Like you're constantly being like criticized,
Yes,
and
yeah.
like there's so many people in your life who can make fun of you and like doubt you. Like it is hard for sure. I always just try to look at the positive side, and I always kind of like push my like bad feelings to the back until like one day it just kind of breaks and I'm just like
Yeah,
but
yeah.
kind of cool.
Yeah,
uh but
definitely.
yeah, so that's like a little bit of kind of like growing up in the spotlight for sure. Is It's mentally draining because of like just all the pressure that's on you and to like
Definitely.
look a certain way and say things a certain way. Like
Yeah.
people used to make fun of me for saying like a word wrong. I'm
Oh,
like, I'm sorry, like
exactly.
my bad, dude, like my
Yeah.
bad. So it's a
Of
little hard, and it
course.
has made me like self conscious of the way I say certain things
Of
still to
course.
this day. So
Yes,
yeah,
I completely and wow, I completely understand because I feel like from an outsider's perspective, when we like look at a YouTuber, we say that oh, this that everything is so nice, perfect, well rounded. Your room is so clean, your life is so put together, your car is so nice. But then you see like people will take little things and they'll kind of like turn it against you because something as simple as saying something wrong like that and then just one comment starts with it then another adds on and it's just like it's so much but I love how you just push past that you don't even like let that stop you from doing what you really like or love and that's amazing, that is so wonderful. And I wanted to ask you, when was the time that you realized that wow, YouTube is something that I maybe want to do forever but at least for like a long time, like a certain age or time?
well, I would say there wasn't necessarily really a point. I feel like
Mm.
it was just kind of like all came together. Like I started uploading videos honestly just for the fun of it
Of
because
course.
like I could do whatever I wanted. I could
Mhm.
post whatever I want and like come up with cool ideas.
Yeah.
And at that point, like I didn't even know you could make money off of YouTube. Like I had no idea.
Yeah.
So like I never thought of it really as a job. So that was like there really I'm trying to think if there really was a point like where I was like, oh, I need to upload like
Mm.
every week. I feel
Wow.
like
Yeah.
it was mainly like the comment section, like, yo, you should post more, or oh, you should post every
Oh,
Saturday.
yeah.
Like that definitely kind of like pushed me more into like a consistent schedule. I am so off schedule now. I've definitely been like focusing a lot on like my brand more.
Of course.
But
Yeah.
it's okay. It's hard to focus on like so many things at once.
I totally hear
But
you.
I would definitely say that I feel like the comment sections and like my followers
Yeah.
kind of pushed me to do it more because they wanted to like see more videos from me, which was amazing. Like that support definitely made me want to do it more. So I feel like it was mainly my followers, honestly. I don't think it was necessarily me,
Yeah.
which was really cool.
Yeah, of course, and that's amazing too. And I wanted to say, going into your company, that is wonderful. As at such a young age too, that is incredibly inspiring. And I know you always say it on your YouTube, but I also want to ask, like, what is the reason that you started a company like that? What inspired you, or like there was like someone who inspired you too?
Yeah, totally. I would say, well, I've always loved makeup. Like makeup is
Mhm.
something I've always loved. Like from
Yeah.
being on set, like when I was really young, like they'd always put like a little makeup on me, and I'd always like ask the makeup artist, like, "Oh, what is that? Like, what are you doing?" And like it just started to like grow into something that I really love to do. Not necessarily just to like do it to like make me like make myself feel pretty. Like I don't
Pretty.
like that. Like that's whole like stereotype of makeup.
Yeah.
I just love it, and a lot of people, most people love it for art. Like it's
Mhm.
so like therapeutic and fun to
Yeah.
do. Buying more makeup and kind of like just leading into like YouTube, I started doing makeup on YouTube. So I'd be applying a lot of makeup all the time.
Yeah.
So I started to like just like experiment with different brands, different products, and then I like realized one of these days like I was starting to break out. Like it kind of just like hit me. Like I didn't realize it until I
Yeah.
realized it, and I was like, "What's wrong with my skin right now?"
Of course.
So I started kind of just like stressing out about it, and I was like, "That's so." I never used to have acne, and a bunch of people were telling me like, "Oh, like it's like just like you being a teenager," and I was like, really? I was like, huh, like I feel like there's more to it, which I
Yeah.
understand, like that's true, like hormones
Of
do like
course.
make an
Yeah.
effect on your skin,
Of
but
course.
at the same time, a lot of things you're putting on your
Yes.
skin make
Mhm.
a huge difference.
Yes.
So I started researching the ingredients and the products I was using. So I was like looking up the ingredients on like different websites, seeing exactly what they were and like how they were used and why they were used. And I was like, oh my gosh, these products have the worst ingredients. So
Yeah.
I like kind of like it blew my mind. I was like, no way. Like what's going
Yes.
on? Why are people using these products?
Of
Especially
course.
because teenagers have really sensitive skin to begin with
Yeah.
because like we're just like developing and our skin just it's something else, you know?
Exactly.
So I went to my mom and I was like, Mom, like I really want to create a brand that can help teenagers with their skin, and like I want beauty products that can help me with my skin because sure there are brands out there that target like teen skin, but they're not
Yeah.
too good. I've definitely done my research on them. I'm like, I don't think you should be targeting that to like teens because
Of
that's just like
course.
unfair. So
Yeah.
I decided to create a brand and work really closely with my lab and like really be hands on with the ingredients and like the color work and the whole operation of it.
Of course.
So
Yeah.
it took about a year, and I came out with 5 products. I kept going back and forth with the lab,
Wow.
trying to like make the products perfect. And I
Yes.
finally got like the perfect formula,
Wow.
and I launched it in December of 2017. So kind of crazy. So it's been going on for 3 years now, and yeah, it's really fun. I love brands. I feel like creating a brand and really seeing how everything is made is amazing.
That's wonderful. And watching it grow too, I know that as your brand grows, and your YouTube account grows, it just all comes together, and that's wonderful. And I love that you're doing something like that because, even tying that into mental health, having your skin, be an issue is something that can truly, truly harm someone's mental health. And I just love that you're doing that. And I wanted
Absolutely.
to, yes, and I wanted to also ask you more about like your models. Even you don't even like some companies, like just not even looking at their products ingredients, just looking at the range or the diversity that they target, basically, like the diversity of teenagers. It's very limited, and I wanted to ask you more about what inspired you, or how you go about making your products, or your models more diverse, and having so many different people, modeling your products. That's amazing.
Thank you. Yeah, no, totally. I feel like it's super important to show like different types of skin. Really important because a lot of brands don't really show like everyone, or they like show people with like absolutely perfect airbrushed skin,
Yes.
and like that's just not realistic. Like
Of
come on
course.
now, like who has airbrushed skin? Like Not me, for sure. I'm not a lot of people do.
Yeah,
There's like 1% of the population who probably does. So I really
exactly.
love to show like the products on all different types of skin tones and different skin types and just different ages in general from like I think we actually just recently hired a model who was like around 10 and then all the way up to like 22. So it's like
Okay.
a wide range. It's not all teenagers, but like the
Yes.
main like demographic is definitely teenagers. And just seeing all the models together is so cute. Like I just love how we all are teenagers and we're all just so like bubbly and happy and it's really fun to shoot with other teenagers,
Yeah.
especially when there's like a nice group of us like of 8 girls.
Yes.
It's so fun, and I feel like in general, it's really important to show like the products on every single different skin tone, skin type, person, height, length. I don't even know
Of
all of
course.
it. You know what I mean? I want to
Of
show
course.
everything.
Of course. And that's amazing too. I love that so much. And it, that's amazing. And I love that so much. And I wanted to also, go into more like also even with skin, it can tie into like social media, mental health, everything. But I wanted to ask you, what is your personal opinion on like social media and like today's society, especially within social media, including YouTube, Instagram, TikTok, anything?
Yeah. Oh my gosh,
Mhm.
I could go on for hours about this. I It's so weird because I am a YouTuber and I do
Yeah.
social media. Like I use all the apps. Um, but I truly believe. Excuse me. Oh my gosh, my voice.
Yeah.
I've been talking so much for the past like
I
2 days.
see.
My
Yeah.
voice is like.
Yes,
Anyways.
yes,
Besides that,
yeah.
social media I think is so bad for your mental health. Like personally, I think like it's really bad. Like I know like we're all guilty of using it or most people are. I think there's so many different ways that it's toxic for us. Like being all like constantly on an app, like you see all different kinds of people and like you compare yourself. Like I don't care who you are. I think everyone slightly compares themselves to someone on like an app or on Instagram or on
Mhm.
YouTube and it's so draining on you because like no matter what, like you're gorgeous, like they're gorgeous, like no one is the same and I mean, unless you're like an identical twin. But
Of
besides
course.
that,
Yeah.
basically no one's the same. And I feel like there's so much on the internet that like I feel like almost purposely tries to bring us down in a way. There's this actually documentary that's called Social Dilemma, and it's
Yeah.
really good.
Yes.
Have you watched it?
Yeah, yeah. On Netflix, right? Yeah. Yes,
Yeah, it
yes.
was really good, and I
Yes.
definitely opened my eyes a lot, and I think all the stuff that they said on there was so true. And
Yes.
I really do think that like people behind social media are so evil. Like in a weird way. Like I feel like there's so much that like if I see a video, it will like bring me down. Like they know how to bring
Yes.
everyone down. And they also know how to bring people up though too.
Of
But
course.
it can be really hard on you and I feel like it's like it's good to spend time off social media and like go on a walk, go on a little jog. I know that doesn't sound very fun, but like it gets your brain and your body moving. And I feel like that's really important because I feel like phones can create so much negativity in your life
Mhm.
and I'm guilty. I'm sure it does for me.
Mhm.
Like I've noticed, like when I go on my phone right in the morning, like I feel like I'm already like putting a damper on my day
Of
because like
course.
it's really hard on you. It's hard to
Yeah.
describe it in a weird way because like
Yeah.
everyone uses social media and
Yes.
like I do too, but I definitely think it's important to spend time off your screen for sure.
Awesome. And I love that so much. And I'm happy that you use the social dilemma because I feel that so many people watch that and I watch it too. And I just loved it because just like you said, it's literally made to make you feel bad. It's made to sometimes bring you up, or to make you use it more, but it's made like to make you feel sad or bad. And that's so evil when you really think
Yeah,
about it. Like, wow, like really someone is purposely trying to bring you down or and then get you addicted to this app. And another thing also, even TikTok for example, and
oh,
yes, yes, like the content on there is absolutely, triggering. It's stimulating. Like it will literally make someone their whole entire mood change completely. And one thing I wanted to say was also when it comes to like even having friends, relationships, everything, it really does change someone. And I like that you said, waking up in the morning, because I even sometimes relate it to watching old shows. Like, for example, Friends. I don't know if you ever watched it before, but like, yeah, when I watch Friends, you see them living their lives. They go on a jog, they come back, they watch some TV, they hang with their friends, and they just like live life because there was no such thing as social media at that time. So it's kind of crazy to think, wow, look at that show, which was what, just 25 years ago, and look at us now. So it's kind of crazy. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yes.
I think definitely social media is linked to a lot of like, I think it's linked to depression and many other disorders, like 100%.
Mhm.
And it's so sad to see that. And I know all of our parents are like, get off your phone, like it's not good for you. But they're right. They are right. And
Yes.
I hate saying they're right, but they're right.
Me
So
too.
yeah, I think it's so sad. I like can't believe someone would create an app that would
Yeah.
purposely make us like weak and sad and
Yes.
just drained from like,
Yeah.
oh, it's so sad to me. Like that makes me
True.
genuinely upset. And like going for like a positive perspective, like I always try to make my videos like very positive so people,
And
have an escape if they're having a rough day. Like, oh my god, that is a little too intense for me.
Of course, I hear you. And I even want to quickly say, I remember there was one video that you did where you bought Brandy Melville clothes and you gave them out. And I thought that was absolutely so wonderful because, who else, sometimes I see on YouTube, people are not using their platform to do that. They're not to bash anyone, but, they're using their
Yeah.
platform to, do different things, which is nice on their end. But, it's also good to round it out and, like, also use it for the good, which is wonderful and so amazing. And I wanted to also I wanted to also ask you, how do you feel about the community on YouTube right now? Like, what is your opinion on YouTube, and especially since you're a creator on there, what is that for you right now?
I wouldn't say. I think YouTube is definitely. I think it's still. It's obviously one of the biggest platforms, if not the biggest platform. But I definitely think there's a lot more people on TikTok currently. Like I know I've been spending a lot more time on TikTok rather than YouTube. And I think it's definitely interesting. It's been harder on YouTube in general because I feel like everyone's kind of like growing up and changing and finding like different content to watch. And I feel like everyone goes on YouTube to watch TikTokers.
Yes.
Does that make? I don't know. Like the Sway Boys or like the Hype House.
Yeah,
So I think that's very interesting. From a YouTuber, I definitely think that YouTube is gonna have to change a lot to like keep up with TikTok because TikTok is definitely growing so fast. There is billions of users on there, and I definitely think YouTube's going to be changing soon, which I'm excited to see. They definitely need to be a little more creative. I think like they need a different setup or something, and also their algorithm is very interesting. Like they penalize you for not uploading like frequently.
Wow.
So that's very unfortunate for me because I mean I get it, but like I don't because like I mean I've definitely taken some breaks on YouTube before, so it's hard to like get back into it, but. Yeah,
I completely understand, and it's actually kind of odd because when I think about it, like it's like your channel, you don't have to. Why are you like buying the to make stuff?
I know. Yeah. Technically speaking, YouTube's my boss, but it's not like a physical person, so I don't think of it that way. But their algorithm is definitely the boss of me.
Yeah, I completely understand when you say that, and that's even so true what you said. TikTok really has so many things, and I feel like also because it's so compact, it's quick. It's like at most a 60-second video, and I feel like in this generation, our attention span is just getting worse and worse, and much smaller. So, sitting through a whole YouTube video with ads.
I struggle with it. Yeah, with ads, like, oh. Come on now. Like, I don't got time for a 5-second ad. Like, not gonna happen.
Of course, yeah. And I was even going to say also, now YouTube has 2 ads, and, to watch a video, it's 2 ads every, 5 minutes. It's insane. So, it really, really, yeah, it can. Really...
I know. And they can select it. Like, you can select it to be one ad. Most people, I mean, I think I'm probably guilty. There's, an automatic setting, but,
Yes,
Yeah.
of course, I hear you. And I wanted to go into, what does it feel like with having a group of people like, who follow you, support you, and are always there for you, and like support your work that you come out with on YouTube or Instagram, TikTok? What is that like for you, and how does that help you or motivate you?
Totally. I think it's so weird to me because I have like two sides to it, kind of. Like half of me is always like, I don't think people watch my videos.
Really?
Like genuinely, I know there's a number and I see the view count, but like I genuinely recognize that people watch me.
Yeah.
I think it's so weird. I don't know how to describe it, but like
Yeah.
it doesn't register until like someone comes up to me like in person. They're like, "Oh my god, I love your videos." I'm like,
Wow.
"What?" I'm like, "Who?" I'm
Yeah.
like, "What? I
I
don't
hear
what?
you.
I thought those were private." No, I'm kidding. I know
Yeah.
they're public, but like it doesn't really click until I see an actual person who says it. Like it
Wow.
doesn't feel real, which is insane.
Yes.
Especially like when people come up to me, like it like is like, oh my gosh, like that makes me so happy. Like it definitely brightens my day like so much. And same with like positive comments, like oh my
Yes.
gosh, like I missed you or like stuff like that. Like it's so sweet and so kind to see that support.
Wow.
And I always try to like I want to support them as well. Like I always want to make their days better. So it's insane and it doesn't always register with me if I'm being honest. I'm like, what? I have that many followers on YouTube? I'm like,
Yes.
no.
Yeah.
I'm Fiona. There's no way. So it doesn't click always.
Yeah, I completely understand. It's kind of crazy, and that's so wonderful though, and that's amazing that you feel that way. It's so humble and such a nice outlook to have. And I wanted to also say, where do you believe that you'll see yourself in about 5 years, 5, 6 years from now?
That question always hits me in the face and I don't know why it does, but it does.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Okay. Wow. I'll be in my early 20s. Okay. I definitely I see myself definitely going more into business for sure.
Mm,
I definitely want to grow Frilliance and I want it to be in stores. That's like something I really want. Like
yeah.
I want my beauty brand to grow like as I grow,
Mhm.
and I've been putting a lot of work into it. And I've definitely seen more like happening with it, which is so exciting. Like that's something that like is insane to me. So I definitely feel like something around like the business era, like kind of creating a brand, creating a company, creating like
Yes.
an app, something like that. And then I don't know. I feel like I see myself living like in Montana or like in like Southern California. And
Really?
they're so opposite.
Yeah.
So like I don't know where I'm gonna go, but
I
I see myself living in one of those kind of places,
yeah.
which is two opposites, so I'm not sure. And I also see myself traveling a lot because that's like a huge thing of mine, which I can't do right now, which really
Oh,
sucks.
yeah.
But I want to go to like Spain. I want to go to Europe. I want
Me
to go to.
too. Wow.
I mean, I don't even know. I want to go to the northern, like go see the northern lights. I want to go
Yes.
bungee jumping, jump out of an airplane, like all of the
Wow.
above.
Yeah, for real.
Cliff jumping. I
Yes.
love heights.
Me
I
too.
love them. It's so weird.
No, for real. And I love that, you see, like, it's so funny that you can find someone to relate to, without even knowing them because, I feel the exact same way, even like in like a year from now, for graduation, hopefully without COVID, I see, going to Hawaii, bungee jumping. I want to do the same thing, skydiving, everything, parasailing. I love heights too, so I completely understand what you mean.
Yes.
So, yeah, that sounds amazing.
Heights are so fun.
Yes.
Heights are so fun. Some of my friends think I'm like literally psychotic for liking heights. I'm like,
Yeah.
it's fun, guys.
Yes.
Like, what's a little fun without a risk? Like that's what I always say. It sounds really bad, but like I'm kidding, not really. But no,
You.
heights are so
Yeah.
fun.
Of
Like that
course.
feeling of jumping out of an airplane.
I know, right? Yes.
I'm sure I'd be like a brand new person after. I'd be like, "Hey
I
everyone,
know.
like I'm Teresa. Like you don't know Fiona. You don't even know." But yeah,
Yes, and that is insane. Like that is amazing. Like just like roller coasters, I feel like that's the tipping point. But like something like jumping out of a plane, like that is another level. So that's amazing. And I wanted to say, with your YouTube channel and everything and having a platform, do you have any advice for anyone, who's watching, who, feels that they want to make a YouTube channel, but they feel like the comments or people at school or anything will just really stop them and they feel really uncomfortable or insecure. Do you have any advice for them with making a YouTube channel?
Totally. Yeah, I feel like I have like little bits and pieces of advice. Number one, for people who like worried about people making fun of you or
Mm-hmm.
people making like horrible comments, like I've definitely experienced my fair share of like in-person rude comments,
Mm-hmm.
and same with like comments like virtually and like
Oh,
cyberbullying. I
yeah.
honestly consider all of that like bullying and cyberbullying. It's so insane that people would leave those comments and say those things to you. But I think what's important is to understand where they're coming from. Like they are putting like their anger and their emotions out on you, most, or that they want to like do something like what you're doing but their parents won't let them, or like
Mm-hmm.
they can't do it at that time. And it's like it's hard to understand that, but it's not you, it's them. And like once you realize that and you like truly see that, like it's much easier to get over it. And then in person stuff like that one stings like a lot because you have to have a lot of courage to go make fun of someone. I've definitely had my experience with that.
Wow.
I normally I want to leave usually like when that happens, like I'll just like leave the situation. But also what really shows them something is if you're strong and you just laugh it off. You're like,
Mm-hmm.
oh, haha, funny, and then you go like talk to one of your friends.
Yeah.
So that's like also a huge thing. And
Wow.
another thing I would say is if one of your friends makes fun of you, they're not your friend. Like, I know that's hard to accept,
Yeah.
but like, they are not your friend. That is not someone you should have in your life. You want positive people who like lift you up, not people who bring you down. So, I definitely have learned that from experience. So
Yeah.
definitely understand like if they're not supportive of you, they're not your real friend, and you shouldn't, you know,
Of
have
course.
them in your
I
life, which I know can be hard,
of
but
course.
it's worth it, and you'll feel a lot
Yes.
better after.
Yeah, and that's just like you said, feel a lot better, your mental health, amazing. That's really something that can really help you and push you forward. And another thing I wanted to say is advice with starting a company, for example, with your company that you have and you're still in school, still a teenager, so many things. Do you have any advice for how to manage, and advice to start it, or even motivation for anyone who wants to start?
Yeah, totally. I would say like if you have an idea that you think is like slightly different than like other brands, like make it a twist. Like have a twist on your company or your idea. Like let's say oh my gosh, I gotta think. It's hard to come up with out of the box ideas.
Yeah.
So like I understand that's hard.
Yeah.
But let's say like I don't know, a lot of hangers are constantly breaking, right? Like if you come up with a certain design that like guarantees they won't break. I
Yes.
don't know if anyone else's hangers break. I hope that's not just
Yeah.
me.
No.
Do
No.
they happen
Yeah,
to break
yeah.
to you?
Yes.
Okay, good. I'm not the only one. Okay.
Yes, yeah.
So let's like those kind of ideas are great. Like the slightly different ideas and putting a spin on it, and just like slowly start working towards it. Like don't necessarily just like quit your job right away
Of
or
course.
stop doing school and just pursue that. Like definitely like time manage it and continue to work on it until you can like leave your job and like do that full time, and just keep pushing because it will be worth it. And the main like one of the main things I always try to keep in mind is a lot of people do not have enough drive to keep going, and if you keep going you'll be there because a
Yeah,
lot of people will give up along the way.
of course.
So
Yeah.
yeah, that's
Yeah.
some advice. So you got to keep going, and I know it can be really, really hard. It's been really hard for me. I've thought so many times about just like stopping everything and just
Mm.
starting over, like literally hitting the reset button. So
Yeah.
yeah, no, it's important to keep going though. It's worth it. It's
Amazing.
worth it.
Yeah, of course, amazing. And the last thing I want to say is when you're struggling with your mental health, is there anything specific that you do that maybe, others can do? Like when your mental health is challenged, do you ever do something like take a mental health day, take a break, like step back? Anything you tell yourself that you would love to share?
Yeah, no, totally. I would say there's like I feel like it's different definitely for everyone. What I personally do is like I'll go on a drive. Like I always
Yeah.
I like driving. Like driving is one of like a very calming thing. If
Yeah.
you can't drive, then I know this may sound really weird, but like go on a bike ride. Like there's
Yeah.
something about like being able to like roll the windows down in your car and have the cold air in your face, that like I don't know, it's like it lets out my like I don't know like anxiety or emotions,
Right.
and also like blasting music also really helps me, like putting headphones on and just like blasting music.
Yeah.
I think fresh air is a huge thing that really helps me in being able to like kind of get outside and just like see like beautiful views and stuff.
Yeah.
And also I feel like being alone is really important for that, because like your friends obviously they make you really happy, but you need to like focus on like what's going on with you. So I feel like definitely handling it alone is really important, but also having like support from others is great.
Yes.
And yeah, those are kind of like a few things that
Yeah.
I personally do.
I
And I feel like it's important to know like that like everything is going to be okay, and that you are strong, you're gorgeous, you're beautiful, and you can conquer anything if you
yeah.
put your mind to it. And yeah,
Wow.
that's what I usually do and say to myself. And I
Yeah.
also will like write down 10 things that like I'm grateful for and that I'm like very proud to have in my life. Like it can
Awesome.
be like your family, your friends, it can be one of your pets, it can be like as stupid as like a mirror. It's not even stupid to you. Like I love my mirror. It's like it's a special mirror that I got in San Francisco.
Yes. Yeah.
Anyways, so like everyone has their little things,
Of
and I like
course.
to write down those 10 great like things that you're grateful for, because it really kind of uplifts the mood.
Yeah, for sure. And that is amazing. I am so happy for what you said, your advice, everything so inspirational. And I thank you again so, so much. And I hope that anyone watching right now, that you feel that you're not alone and that you know that people are always going to be there for you no matter what, even if it doesn't feel like it. And even if it doesn't feel like things are getting better, there's always, light at the end of the tunnel. But I hope that everyone just enjoyed this, and Fiona, thank you so much. And I will definitely link all of her line, everything down below, her social media down below, and everything. And thank you again so much, and have a wonderful day. Yes, thank you. That
Thank
was
you.
so,
But thank you so much for
yeah.
watching, and thank you so much for having me. This was
Yes.
awesome.